Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. Those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Maria, and today is another of the beautiful Guerlain eyeshadow quads. Today I'm going to be using the one Royal Jungle, and that is number 940. I'm not going to go over all the packaging again. If you want to see that more up close and the inspiration behind these quads, I talked about that in my last video when I used the other eyeshadow quad, and that one was Mystic Peacock, so I'll put a link up to that one here. But the packaging is really beautiful. These have a shelf life of 6 months from date of opening, and all these quads are made in Italy. I said in my other video that these aren't quite as heavy as the Tom Ford palettes, but they are fairly close and they are really beautiful quality. This, I think, I haven't tried it yet, but possibly is going to be my favorite palette out of the 5 that I got. So here is the color story of Royal Jungle. It is a neutral, it would be a warm neutral palette, and I just think it looks absolutely stunning. Now for Instagram, I did swatches of this in natural light, so I'll still put swatches on in this video so you can see it under this lighting, but I'll also put a video up to my left of what I also put on Instagram. So this is like a taupe colored shade, and this is golden, and it hasn't got a huge amount of opacity to it, so I'd say this is more like a topper shade. This is a deep brown matte, and this one looks like a really beautiful copper. So I've already got my foundation on, I've got bronzer on and powder on as well. I've done my eyebrows, and I've also got eyeshadow primer on as well, because those of you that haven't seen my other videos, I have oily skin and I need eyeshadow primer so I don't get too oily. The bronzer that I used is the Guerlain Sun-Kissed Healthy Glow powder, and I got this in 04, and this is what it looks like. It's really beautiful, and I'm really loving how this looks on. This is the first time that I tried this. I picked this up a little while ago, but today's the first time that I've actually reached for it, and I think it looks really beautiful on. Now in the other video, the one where I used the Mystic Peacock, and today's video, I've been using the same foundation, and it's the new Chanel foundation. It's called the Water Fresh Complexion Touch, and it's in the shade B30. This is about the 3rd or 4th day that I've worn it since I got it. So I just want to wear it for a couple more days, and I will do a dedicated video on that, but I just want to see how it wears. I've tried it with a couple of different primers, and tomorrow I'm going to try it with a different powder as well. When I initially put it on, it looks really good, but I just want to wear it a little bit more and for a little bit longer during the day, and just see how it wears on my oily skin. But I will be putting a video up about that very soon. So I'm going to take the Rapha number 15 brush, and I'm going to start off with this shade here. Now when I used the other palette, these were beautifully pigmented. They also lasted really well too. You can see how just effortlessly they blend. These are a really beautiful formula, and I really love the way that they blend out. So I'm going to take the Rapha number 3 using the same shade. I'm going to run this under my lower lash line. I probably will go over this with the darkest shade as well, at least on the outer 3rd, but I'll just lay this down first. Then I'm going to take the Rapha number 14, and I am going to go into this deeper shade here. This is a matte shade, but when you swatch it, it feels almost creamy. Then we'll take the Rapper number 3 again and go back into this darker shade and just run that over the other shadow. And I'm just going to bring it just to that outer third. Then we'll take the Sony G, this is the Builder Pro, and go into this shade here and put that over the rest of my lid. This is just gorgeous. Really, really beautiful. And again with the Rapper number 3 brush, I'm going to go back into the shade that I just put on, and I'm going to put some of this on my lower lash line. Just run it through here. This is blending really beautiful too. These are smooth when they apply. They're just really lovely formula. And then I'm going to go into the shade here. This is the one where it's swatched. It was more like a topper shade. So I'm going to go over both colours that I've put on and just use my finger, and it's just beautiful. It lifts both colours and it's really, really stunning. And I'm going to use these shadows to line my upper lash line. I'm going to use this shade first because this actually goes on quite deep, and just see how that looks. So I think that shade's pretty good for giving definition to my upper lash line, but I will go over with this darker shade just a little bit. So I've just put some mascara on. I used the Chanel Le Volume 1, and I didn't use any other liner apart from those 2 darker shades of the shadow. And I love it when you can use a shadow from an eyeshadow palette. So this is the finished look, and I think that this colour story is just stunning. These are definitely my type of shades. The formula is gorgeous. And you probably have these shades with other palettes that you own if you have quite a large makeup collection. But I love this colour story, and I think that Guerlain are knocking this out of the park with this collection. I think it is very beautiful. The first 2, at least that I've used, I think are fantastic. And I'm looking forward to trying out the other 3. Now I still haven't put on any blush. So I've grabbed the Tom Ford shade in Illuminate. And this is in the shade 02 Explicit Flush. So I'm just going to take my Chukahodo. This is the F03. And just very lightly. So on, this is fairly pigmented, this blush. I just thought this colour would be quite nice with this neutral warm eyeshadow. I thought make a change from wearing pink. It is a beautiful blush, these Tom Ford blushes. And then finally, I'm going to use one of the 3. This is the KissKiss Be Glow lip balms that I picked up the other day. This one is in number 319 Peach Glow. I raved about these in my other video when I used the other eyeshadow quad in Mystic Peacock, because I hadn't tried them until I got them about, must have been 2 or 3 days ago. These lip balms are just gorgeous. They feel beautiful on. So this is the shade, if you haven't seen it. These have been reviewed by quite a few people, but this is the shade Peach Glow. And for a lip balm, I think these have fairly decent pigment. So here is the finished look, and I just love this eyeshadow quad. I think it is absolutely stunning. And this is one that I would reach for using my everyday makeup. I think it is really, really beautiful. I think the formula is gorgeous, And like I said, I love it that I don't really have to reach for an eyeliner if I don't want to. I can use the two darker shadows that are in there, and it gives enough definition to the upper lash line. I just think it is really, really beautiful, and I'm looking forward to trying out the others that I picked up as well. Now, I know this isn't a video about the new Chanel foundation, but I did have to powder this again. So it's winter here now in New Zealand, so it's not cold in this room, but it's not overly warm either. But I did find that I was just starting to get quite oily and just needed to powder it down. Like I said, I will try this out again tomorrow using a different powder and see how that goes. So that's why I just want to test it out for a few days before I do a video on it. The lip balms are just beautiful. I know they're not a new release, but they weren't released that long ago either, and they are new to me. And if you're looking for a really lovely lip balm, I recommend these. I have bought a few different ones this year from different brands, and I really love them. But until I tried this one, I thought the others were really beautiful, but I think that this formula of these lip balms are just exceptional. I think they are really, really lovely. And I don't know whether I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, but these quads, and there's also a mascara in this collection, and I believe there's also going to be some lipstick cases as well. This is all going to be available from Harrods on the 15th of July. So I am absolutely thrilled with the two quads that I've tried so far from Guerlain. I think they are just absolutely gorgeous, and like I said before, I'm looking forward to trying out the others as well. Probably the next video I do will be on the one, I think it's called Majestic Rose, and then I'll probably do a video on something else, probably the Chanel foundation, just to have a break between all these Guerlain products. And then at the end of the week, I'll put up the last two videos using the last two quads. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye.